Hey everybody, it's Aquila, and this is a Lefty Knitter Podcast, episode 150. 150. Holy moly, guys. It's February 2nd, 2022. Yeah. This is a podcast about knitting, crochet, fiber arts, whatever I'm getting into that's crafty. So, I record normally, excuse me, I record through the week. I lump it all together and I post on Saturdays. The last month has been just a little of a roller coaster, and sometimes life takes over and whatnot. But all right, so again, my name's Aquila. This is I already said that. A podcast, obviously. Jeez, I should fix that, but I'm not. Okay, I live in Baltimore. Husband, cats, kids, yarn, all the things. So, the New to You Make-Along is still going. It ends on February 14th, so make sure you're joining that. Make sure you're hashtagging and doing all the things. I had showed you in the last, wasn't really an episode. In the last video I posted, I showed you me trimming the edges of my punch needle and trying to glue it down. It wasn't my punch needle. It was my sister-in-law's punch needle. I just don't know if, it didn't turn out great because I couldn't get all those edges like straight on. You can still see. I rushed a little. I didn't clip it as well as I probably should have. I was in a hurry trying to make content and it just wasn't good. And so that's why, but I never really showed you guys this. So this is the finished object, and I did shave it, and you can tell that this is lower than the rest of the petals. So I don't know what I'm doing with it, but it was a practice piece to be able to see the gluing part and the cutting part, which I need better scissors, one, or I don't want to use my fabric scissors for cutting this monk's cloth. So I'll probably just get a pair of scissors that is specifically for that. But yeah, it came out okay. I mean, I didn't do this part of it. I just shaved it. So I think the shape was a little hard to cut out, and I think I need to practice with more shapes that are easier. But all right, so my New to You object was Mosaic Crochet, which I have now finished that pillow topper. It was the like a Kelim pillow, like a Kelim, yeah, something like that. And all the information will be down below. I post everything down below on the projects that I'm working on, so that'll be there. The last I talked about it, I said I had done the slip stitches on the top and I wasn't really happy. So I went back and I've now fixed them all. So I'm going to show you guys that, but and they look so much better. So what I'm talking about is this part. They're not stretched out as much. That one you can really see the definition, and it's not stretched out. I wove in all my ends. That is all done. Everything is like, this part's done. And I went to Joann's this weekend and I bought myself some fabric. So I only needed, I think I ended up buying 3/4 of a yard because I want to make an envelope pillow case for this, so I can take the pillow form in and out if I need to. And I know some of the fabric is going to be sewn onto this and you won't see it, so I just bought the same fabric. I thought about buying different fabrics, but I was like, you're not going to see it. So this is the fabric I picked. I went with something that didn't have a lot of busy pattern. It's more like just texture looking. But I wanted something bright because that's how I roll. So that'll be the envelope pillow that I sew on my sewing machine. It's just super simple. And I will hand sew probably this down to the pillow. I'll figure that out when I get there. I'm not there yet. So I also need to get to IKEA and buy a pillow form, because they have pillow forms that they're really nice. So, and they're pretty affordable. They're like faux down. So yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm not done. I mean, this part's done technically, but I want a whole finished object. So yeah. I've been working on my sweater a lot, which I have not showed you guys in a very long time. But I would probably show that later in the episode. But right now, another thing that was procured at Joann's, because I had a 40% coupon, and Hazel was like, oh, will you make me a blanket? And I was like, okay. I bought one of those Cover Story Lion brand cakes. This thing is giant. And the color is Bowie. And the pattern, beginner pattern inside, I am just using the pattern it calls for, because I should be okay with the amount of yarn that I have. And I did find my size 15 needles, US 15, which is ridiculous. What is that in millimeters? That's not even the called for size on the label, but the pattern calls for US 15 10 millimeter. Here is the cake. It's giant. It's so big. It was called Bowie, but maybe they mean Bowie, and I'm not quite sure, but the name. And Hazel was like, oh, because she, of course, knows who David Bowie is. She's my child. Found my 15-inch, or my 15 US needles, giant. And it's really just, you're alternating between 6 rows of stockinette and 4 rows of garter. So I have done, and then the border was like 8 rows of garter. So there's the garter border, some stockinette, there's garter here, and then on the edge, the last 3 stitches stays in a garter stitch. I mean, I'm not really giving anything away. You can get this pattern. It's called the Rumour Afghan. And it's probably on like Lion Brand's website. So there you go. This is so soft though. I made my oldest a blanket. They didn't have these big cakes then, and I must have bought like 15 skeins of like this chenille type material. It's actually, I don't know what it is. It's not, it's polyester, but isn't that what chenille is made of?
Editing Aquila here. I had to look it up. Chenille is polyester, and it can be, not always. And the way chenille is talked about is it talks about that it looks like a caterpillar, so it's all these little tufts of fur that stick out, making the yarn, making it look like what a caterpillar looks like. So there you go. The more you know.
I don't know. The only pain in the butt thing I'm going to say about this, and I'm going to insert a video because I asked John. I'll insert it here. The knitting part's not terrible, and I'm an English hold. I'm lefty with an English hold, so I'm a thrower. So I'm like constantly dropping the needle to throw the yarn. It'd be easier if I was a picker, and I have done a little bit of the picking, the continental knitting, with this, and I'm just not as fast. And because the needles are giant and the yarn is giant, it's a little awkward. But I did decide to do the Turkish purl. So the Turkish purl is, it's a different kind of method where you use your thumb to flip the purl stitch over the needle, the yarn over the needle, to create the purl stitch. And that made it so much easier. They make tools for doing Turkish knitting that like necklaces or clips that clip on. I'm just wrapping it around my neck and doing it that way because I don't have that. I mean, I could easily like fasten on something like some sort of pin that would hold the yarn. I'm sure I'd have something that I could make work. But that's how you do that. So much easier than me having to throw the yarn while purling. It's so much easier to flick it with my thumb. So I might, if I have other projects that I know are going to have like purling in them, like cardigans that I want to make. So I think I might try to implement the Turkish purl method when I do that too, because you're usually on a cardigan, you know, it's a flat piece of fabric usually, unless you're steeking it. And I will probably have to do a decent amount of purling in that on the flat fabric. So I think I'm going to try to implement that a little more in my knitting, is that Turkish purl, because it was really cool. The video probably already rolled, and yeah, it's quite easy. It's not hard. It might be even easier with needles and yarn that is more manageable than this giant bulkiness here. I mean, this is crazy. It's crazy. I think they're like, it was $39 and I got 40% off. So for a blanket, that's really not terrible. And it says the finished size, I mean, we'll compare at the end, but it says the finished size will be about 44 by 51 inches. So that's not too bad for a 6-year-old, I think. I mean, honestly, be really nice as a lap blanket for an adult. So I've seen people, I was like searching the yarn on Instagram and seeing what people made, and a lot of people made these really pretty big blankets with just two cakes of it. So I mean, with a coupon, it's affordable. So all right, that's what I have today. I have a doctor's appointment again today because not better. So there's your life update. Not better. I have to get COVID tested first. If I'm negative, I get to go in office. If I'm positive, which I hope I'm not, then I will do a virtual visit today, and I'll let you guys know. I've been using the pot boiling water, towel over the head method for a couple days so I can breathe. I have a feeling that like any viral infections that I get in the future, this is going to be like part of my life, and honestly, they might end up, I mean, I might inquire if they think I should have like a nebulizer on hand, just because one of those machines. I don't know. I'll have to talk to them. I'll have to voice my health concerns. Advocate for myself. All right, that's what I have. I have nothing else new, but I hope to have something else started in this episode. So stay tuned for that. It's Friday, the 4th of February. I haven't recorded. It's been chaos again here. Not chaos. It's just families here and whatnot. Oh, call from the school. Okay, hold on. And I'm back. I'm not quite sure what that first clip looked like. Her school is calling. Inclement weather is coming because she's a walker. They provide a bus, but we don't opt to do that. We get her. So we have family again staying. So it's been a little like weird to record in front of anybody. So I haven't, but I have been working on something new. Now, I have a follower named Liz who is wonderful, and I got to meet her at Yellow Springs in Ohio, and it was so nice. And she started her own podcast, and I am so happy for her. So Liz is the Black Knitter, and she is advocating for Black makers. That is like part of her podcast. Obviously, she's showing us projects and everything else, but she decided to do let me look at my notes because I'm really bad at remembering like hashtags and whatnot. She is doing a Black History Mail. So I already knew I wanted to make this shawl, and it's a shawl or a wrap, and it's by Caleisha from the Quirky Monday podcast, and it's the Just Feel Cozy wrap, and it's crochet, and she does a lot of crochet. She does knitting too, but I love her podcast. She's a plant mama, and like seriously, she's inspired me to get like some plans and take care of some things. Thank you. So yeah, and her podcast, if you've not watched it, also Liz, they're both just real people. They're out there just putting it out there, right? And I love that. So if you get a chance to watch Liz, I'll link everything down below. And if you want to join in, your yarn can be from like a Black maker, or the pattern can be from a Black maker. And so it's inspiring to, you know, also help put people's patterns out there that might not be recognized as wildly in the community. So I bought Caleisha's pattern, which Caleisha, seriously, $1? Girl, you need to up your pattern prices, seriously. So I bought her pattern for the $1, and then I also went to her Ko-fi account or coffee account or whatever it is, and I donated money because I myself wrote one pattern, and it's a lot, and she has multiple patterns, and so I was like, no, you need some more monies. So I went and did that. So I want to show you guys what I'm working on though, because it's the Just Feel Cozy wrap. It's crochet. I'm using my Tulip H8 hook, and it calls for using minis. So here's another way to use some of those minis that you might have, or just scraps in general. I've had this for a long time. John bought me this mini set. It's a Walking Dead colorway from Lolo Did It, and it's on a sparkle base, and I just never knew what to do with it. I was just kind of like struggling. And I was like, I want to put it in this wrap. Now, I can't hold it double because I don't have enough yarn to hold it double. It's a DK weight pattern, and you hold it you do DK weight or hold fingering double. Honestly, you could do this in any weight yarn. So I'm holding it with a Knit Picks Sock Lab. It's a Hawthorne, but it was a Sock Lab, and it's a marled gray and white yarn. So here is the yarn I'm holding it with. Here it is. I have 3 of these. And I wasn't sure, and I messaged both Liz and Caleisha and was like, what do you think? And then they both said do a swatch, and I was like, okay. And I did a swatch, and I really loved the way it looked. So I am holding, I have 7 left here. It was a 9 skein set, and I have 7 left. So I've already put 2. The first one was the oddest color out of them all. So I did kind of put them in an order that I want them to go in. And then my dumb butt was like, I'm going to cut it because I can't make a whole row. So here was the first color. This was Negan, if you've watched The Walking Dead. So I cut it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not cutting them anymore. I thought I was going to stop when I couldn't do another row, but I'm not going to do that. I've decided not to do that because it fades in so well and it's marled. I think that you can't really tell, honestly. You can't tell if I stop this in the middle of a row. So here's the color 2. This was Rosita, I believe, and the next color is Carol. I'm just going to keep going with this and magic knot it, because halfway through a row, you're not going to tell that it changed. Oh my god, I love this so much. But I am concerned it's not going to be long enough. I will figure that out when I get to the end of these minis, because I don't know what I'm going to do, because these are all sparkle, and I don't really have any more sparkle. I don't have a whole lot of sparkle in my stash. So we'll see when I get to the end what I choose to do, because I don't know what I'm going to do, because it's only 9 mini skeins, and they're like 20 grams and 87 yards. And it comes up in my total yardage. I know I have enough of this if I had enough minis. I'm like 300 yards short. So that's like a skein. Is that right? But it's DK. So if it's half of that, it's like 150 yards and a fingering weight that I would be missing. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to magic knot this and just crochet, tuck it in, because you're not going to be able to tell when I run out of yarn like here that I have switched to this color, because it's marled. You're not going to really tell. So I'm going to use every inch of this that I can. That's the plan. I'm not going to go back and fix Negan because I've already cut it. I'll just throw that in my other scruffy blanket. But I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited because when she first showed it, she used like a rainbow. In her project page, I'll insert a picture here of hers. It's like a rainbow. And I was like, oh, I have enough scraps that I could probably make a rainbow. But then I was like, no, I want to use these sparkly minis because I don't know what else to use them in, so I'm using them. I love that. I think it looks so cool. I'm so excited. Okay. Yeah. Oh, doctor's appointment. I didn't talk about that. Oh, my mother-in-law's back. I'll talk about my doctors later. Okay, guys, we're rounding up this video. It is Saturday. I'm hiding downstairs because we still have company and I feel weird recording. So I was talking about my doctor's appointment. just in case you guys want to know. He did not make me have the warm and fuzzies at all. I am not a fan of my doctor, but changing doctors is such a pain, and so he pretty much blamed me. Whatever, that's fine. He gave me a new inhaler of Symbicort, which, yeah, insurance don't cover that crap. I'm not even telling you how much I had to pay for that. And I'm going to follow up with my pulmonologist because I need to figure out something else because I can't live on that inhaler at the price. So I'll be calling my pulmonologist to get in with them and figure out what's going on. He did hear wheezing. He did give me another round of steroids in addition to that. So we're going to be doing that. Yay. All right, I started the next color and it looks so good. It's fading so good. I love it so much. This is the Just Feel Cozy wrap and I've wanted to work on nothing else. We're going to have lunch in Gettysburg because there's an Irish pub there that we really wanted to go to, so we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna ball up the next two colors, but I wanted to show you guys. I love it so much. I think I'll have enough of this for the trip, for the drive. Can you even tell? Ugh, the new color started like here. I have a magic knot right there. And I'm gonna ball up the next two colors and get this going. I'm really, really excited about it. This color is Carol. And then the next two colors are Michonne. And then Maggie. Michonne and Maggie. So we're gonna ball up those two next. And yeah. I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody is as well as they can be and taking all precautions and doing all the things that they need to, that they feel is important in their lives for just getting through this. I have a cat who wants to say hello, maybe. Tuna! Alright, she'll probably just sit in my lap for a minute. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I got. Maybe I'll bust out my sewing machine because I'd like to get my pillow done before the time frame for the new to you mail, and that's in 9 days. So I might bust that out this weekend, and I have a cranking order to do, and that's about it. I don't have, I have lots I need to do, but that's what I'll be working on. So yay! I'm really happy about how this is coming out. I'm wondering if I should cake up the next one. I don't think I'll have enough yarn to get to the next one. Might have to grab another project. I don't really have another on-the-go project, so I don't know what I'm going to do. It's only an hour drive. Maybe I'll cake up 3 minis. But hopefully then I don't need more gray. Oh god. Okay, I don't know. We'll see. Alright. Yeah. She looks so angry, but she's purring. And hissing. Alright, now, goodbye. Okay, take care everybody, and until the next episode, knit happy y'all.